just quickly so you understand who I am, my name is Marian. I am a barber. I do not have any experience when it comes to mental health. I am not a mental health expert. Um, I've never been to therapy. The extent of maybe any sort of help, self help I've been in is meditation courses and retreats. But besides that, just church when I was a kid, and that's it. So I'm not going to be talking about this issue as if I were an expert or as if I had any sort of knowledge on it, because I feel like that's something that needs to be cleared up when people talk about this issue, is that we are not all experts, and just because we are at some point we have had mental help or help with our mental condition does not necessarily mean that we are experts in that field. We are just people that are slightly more expert about something. It's like Bill Burr. I think at some point he touched on this. I'll put the clip in, but it was really funny the way that he touched on the topic when people who have been in therapy decide to, I guess, kind of act like they are therapists for other people, because it really hit the nail right on the head.
And stop having to talk to this fucking person.
Yeah, you're full of anger. Because
No.
you flog yourself for being
Oh,
vulnerable.
would you stop it like you
Yeah.
have some sort of
I
psychology
do.
degree?
10 years in therapy.
So what?
It's
I've
helped
watched
with
football
anger.
for 40 years. I shouldn't be somebody's coach.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not your therapist,
Then,
but
then you're
I-
going to like superimpose your fucking issues of the psychos in your life onto me. It's like fucking alcoholics. They just
Yeah.
always like, oh, yeah,
you're
you
drinking.
need,
Yeah.
you drink. You must be like me.
Yeah.
The whole world, because they're addicts. So
Yeah.
they're so fucking self-involved. The whole world has to be like them.
Yes, I agree. I'm so glad you're here to
Let's
put
see.
Christina in her place.
The issues I've had, I really did like the Rewired soul at first, and then I started not really respecting too much of the way in which he did his work, because specifically because he said he was not a drama channel, and that's when I realized that it was dishonest, because it is 100% a drama channel. This is not a mental health expert talking expertly about these issues. It is a person who has gone through a system of mental health, or a certain branch of it, talking as if he were expert about a certain topic. And I know that the idea of the show or the videos are taking the problem and finding the solution, and that might be okay. The issue is that when you're not qualified to make a solution, then what you're doing is speculating on people's mental health. And part of mental health and being a mental health advocate is advocating for HIPAA. It's advocating for professionalism in the healthcare industry. And when you're speculating about someone's mental health, it's very dangerous. What you have to understand is that for people to feel like they are comfortable getting mental help, they need to feel comfortable, they need to feel safe, and they cannot feel judged. And when you are going onto a platform and speculating about people's mental health, you're practically putting their mental state out for the world to judge. It's the same reason people say don't talk about people's kids or speculate about their mental state. It's like if I were to take a YouTuber who has kids and say, sometimes he's very sarcastic in the way that he, talks to his kids. Or I've seen him talk to his kids, and I don't know, it just something seems off. Whether or not you guys like it or not, it does kind of weigh on the way that you're going to judge that person and the way you're going to judge their relationship to their kid. And that's why we don't talk about people's kids, is because we don't know enough about the situation to honestly make a conclusive decision about it, and it puts judgment onto that relationship, and it makes it fragile, just like someone's mindset, especially, for example, in the Jake Paul, Shane Dawson video. If I say sociopath, who does everybody think about? Jake Paul, even though in the documentary they said that he conclusively did not show any signs of being a sociopath. But does that matter? There's a lot of people that still think that he's a sociopath. There's a lot of people that say Ted Bundy and they think Jake Paul, and that's not fair to Jake. He did not need his mental state to be analyzed in that way, and especially by someone who says to be a mental health advocate. So that's kind of why I stopped watching the Rewired Soul. I just didn't feel comfortable with. Yes, gossip is okay, I guess. I mean, I've been guilty of it, gossiping about certain issues and certain things, but when we start gossiping about people's mental health or their family or relationships, I just think it can get very dangerous very quickly. I've also noticed he's very reactionary. There was a time when also I quit following him because it was like 3, 4 videos a day, every 15 minutes. I mean, something would happen, and then 15 minutes later, I would get him, you know, like popping up and being like, oh, this is my point of view on it. That's reactionary. I mean, there were times when someone, like, it was the first time a creator would have an issue, and then all of a sudden his face would show up. It's like, you don't know the pattern of this person's mental process beforehand to make any sort of, like, definitive decision on their mental state right now. So how are you, it's like, it was just a little bit suspect that he would immediately make videos about people in a very reactionary way. And right now, with everything that's happened, instead of maybe taking a few days, thinking about it, talking to people, he immediately is making videos, and that can't be good because you need to take a break when people are criticizing you so that you can listen and react once you have all the information. If you are reacting immediately when someone gives you a criticism, it's usually because you're trying to defend yourself. Hopefully, first off, he does take a little bit of time to digest what's being said. He takes a little bit of a break, and moving forward, I would appreciate if he would stop talking about people that are human, real people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know that there's this idea that you're putting that information out into the world, so, like, it's okay if I talk about it. Yeah, technically, yes, if you put information out, people can react to it, but if you're not a reaction channel, then how can you be reacting to a person? Maybe, like right now, the Umbrella Society came out, and because I've been watching a lot of videos about it, his face showed up, and he was talking about, I think it did a video on Vanya, and her mental state, something like that. So, that was a very interesting thing, or topic, is maybe storylines where people can understand someone's mindset and then from there draw conclusions, because there are a lot of people that we have in Hollywood that are characters that are not human beings, that we're not speculating or judging a person's mental capacity. We could probably use them a little bit better as, examples of, addiction or bipolar disorder or different things like that, even if there is a representation that is wrong, correcting the representation and then talking about, how that person would react in certain situations. That might be a little bit better because you're not casting judgment onto people. It does see the criticisms, decides not to react, but to actually metabolize this information and redeem himself from the things he feels like he could probably better himself with. Hopefully he will, but if not, then we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and leave because I have things to do, and I hope everyone has a great day.